Hi, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we're going to discuss some of the pitfalls and problems that we run into as we age. And as you can see, Lynn and I are not spring chickens any longer. And so
Speak for yourself.
we are, I'll say, I am faced with the reality of growing older and older and older, and it seems like it's happening faster and faster. And so we're going to talk about aging a little bit today and what we can do to help ourselves along the way as we go through this journey of aging. And we'll see, I'm sure you notice as you get out in the world and see older people that there's a lot of problems. And some of these things that are most common are 92% of seniors have at least one chronic disease and 70% have at least two. And by chronic diseases, we mean ongoing problems such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, arthritis, things like this that they're not acute. They don't happen all of a sudden, but they come on slowly and they drag on and drag on and drag on and slowly get worse and worse. Another problem is cognitive health and dementia and the ability to remember and reason and deduce things properly, to make proper decisions. Mental health is something that a lot of people struggle with as they get older. So that's one of the other problems that we all have to look to the future about. And another big thing is malnutrition. Now, it's not that people don't get enough to eat. It's what they're eating that makes them have malnutrition. They end up being short of the proper vitamins and nutrients, and they end up taking in too many toxins, preservatives and food additives, and things that are detrimental to their health. And therefore, we call it malnutrition because it's bad nutrition. Another thing is substance abuse. Now, that's not something that we think of as a senior citizen problem, but a lot of older people are on a lot of different medications. And they get on one medication, it starts causing problems. Their health provider gives them another medication to counteract the first one, and then that compounds another problem, and they'll end up with 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, even 12 to 15 different vials of pills that they're supposed to be taking on a daily basis. This is common. This happens all the time. And it's substance abuse is what it is, even though it's not alcohol or opioids or marijuana or something like that. It's still substance abuse. And as I've gotten older, and in the last few years, I have found that the plasma energy has been able to keep me from being one of these people. I do take some medications because I have a kidney transplant, and I take anti-rejection drugs to keep my body from rejecting that transplanted kidney, which I've had for 15 years. And also I'm diabetic, so I take insulin. But those are the only medications that I take, and I don't take a bunch of other stuff. That's not to say that the doctors haven't tried to get me to take a bunch of other stuff, but I just refuse it. I refuse 99% of their suggestions. And therefore, by doing that, I've been able to still be productive, and I'm almost 80 years old. So this is something to think about as we get older, is to detoxify ourselves and get away from some of these unneeded medications.
Well, and what Paul is talking about with the plasma energy station, this is the way we send it, and it's actually 16 vials that we put together that contain several hundred energies that are beneficial for your body. And the way I suggest that people set it up is that they take something with a spigot and they place their vials onto this, and you'll see that this is a clear plastic container, and you can use clear plastic or clear glass. You don't want to use opaque. You don't want to use stainless steel. You don't want to use crockery. And you're going to use filtered, distilled, good spring water, good well water. You're not going to use tap water. That would be the water of last resort.
Right.
Resort. And I show you this, but if you were from outside of the country, you did notice a couple patches on the side of what I was showing you. And this is the way we send it. And these have been soaked thoroughly with our plasma energy station water. They contain all the energies that are in the 16 vials. They're dried thoroughly, and then they're completely surrounded with plastic and then covered over with clear packing tape. So they're pretty sturdy, and they're going to go on the outside of your container. Now there's some things you can do to take care of yourself, and this is a nice time of year for us to be outdoors and be out walking. When it comes to winter time, sometimes we have so much ice on the street, it's like moguls, and then it isn't nearly as safe. So one of the things we do is called Wim Hof Breathing, and that's named after Wim Hof, who's also called the Iceman. When you look on YouTube, he has many, many videos, but he's come up with a breathing system where he has some control over his autonomic nervous system in his body. And just the type of breathing is going to oxygenate your body too. And wouldn't you say that that's beneficial for the body?
Yeah, it is, very much so. And it's something that we neglect as we get older, is deep breathing. I used to do a lot of that because I was a swimmer, and I swam a mile every day. And when you do that, you do a lot of heavy breathing. And that mile usually took me about 30 minutes to do. I wasn't an Olympic style swimmer by any means, but 30 minutes of that gives you a good workout. And whenever I go in for laboratory tests, they do an oxygenation test, and my oxygenation level last time they checked it was 100%. Now that's really good for an old guy like me.
And then, Paul, there's also isometric exercises, and strength can become an issue as we get older, and going to lift weights may not appeal to everybody, or you may not have access to something like that. But isometric exercises are going to use your body muscles, and you're going to build strength that way. And do you want to show an isometric example?
Well,
Well, just
There's lots of examples, but what you're doing is you're using your own muscles as a counterweight. Instead of lifting a 20-pound weight, you're pushing against your own muscles, and you're exercising your muscles without lifting a weight. Because a lot of times you go to lift a weight, and if you're not in shape for doing that, you'll get halfway up and you'll pull a muscle or a tendon or a ligament or something, and you'll have to drop the thing, and you've got an injury. So by doing isometrics, you're not going to injure yourself, because your body is regulating its own push and pull, and so your chances of hurting yourself are very, very small.
Well, we'll put the information in the description below this video, so if you're interested, you can find out a little bit more about that. Now, the other thing I want to cover is just the number of toxic things that we have in our homes that we're using on a regular basis. So do check. I use a liquid soap, and we use this for everything. Hand washing, face washing, showers, and I add plasma energy station water to that. There's ways that you can get natural deodorants, and one is a mineral salts, another is a commercial preparation using coconut oil and essential oils, and I actually make something of my own that I mix up with coconut oil and baking soda and arrowroot and essential oils and a little bit of plasma water. And then you can also make your own creams that you use on your face and your hands, doing the same thing with the essential oils, coconut oil, and other ingredients that you find that you can use. And this is really economical to do it this way. It really gets you out of the realm of buying a lot of expensive things in the marketplace. I make our own mouthwash, and it is our plasma energy station water. And what I've added to that is I've got station water. I have, you see some vials in the bottom: clean mouth, clear mind, detox relief, peace, some essential oil for flavoring. And so we're not using anything that has any harsh alcohol or anything else, any chemicals that could possibly injure our throats. So that's just another idea of some things that you can kind of change that you're using. A lot of the commercial cosmetics and deodorants have a lot of aluminum in them. They have a lot of paraben in them, and neither of those is good for us. What about the paraben, Paul? It's what is it a derivative of?
It's a derivative of petroleum products. It's a hydrocarbon that comes from petroleum products, and I don't know, some people would call it toxic, others wouldn't, but it's not something you should be putting on your body.
So those are just some of the ideas of things that you can do. Now, what we've done, because sometimes economics enters into the picture, and when you're purchasing a lot of things in the marketplace, it really adds up. And so when people purchase a plasma energy station from us, it's a one-time purchase. And you can even take the water that you have from that and make patches or fill vials for other people, and will they have the same strength of what they already started out with?
Yes, as long as that water has been sitting under the influence of the original plasma for at least 24 hours, it will be fully charged and can be passed on over and over again.
And if you passed it on to a friend and they wanted to pass it on, they can do that also, can't
Right,
they?
right,
And there's no loss of strength of the plasmatic fields.
right.
Okay, so that's, and since we have quite a few different things that we offer now, you can find them on our shop page, on our website, Plasma Energy Solution. And when you click on products and start going through the list, we're adding these videos, so there's just a little more information about each of the products. And this month we're having a special. I've done some special pricing, and you can purchase 8 vials from us, and I don't care what price they are. If you pick out the most expensive vials, you're going to save almost $200 in the package price I've given you. But this month, as an extra bonus, I'm saying that you can pick out 10 vials. And there's 2 prices on it. It's on our website, on our homepage, either with the Plasma Energy Station, or if you already have that, then this would just be 10 vials that you can get at a special pricing. And this video we're doing is in August of 2019. So take a look at that and see if it's something that might give you some long-term purchasing relief. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And one thing I might add about this, drinking this plasma energy on a sustained long-term basis has many benefits. And I've grown to really appreciate it, because I've been able to see over the last 3 years the many benefits for me personally from a steady diet of drinking this water on a daily basis, many times during the day. And you know, I make everything with it: coffee, tea, juice mix, everything using this water. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's very, very beneficial and better than any other investment I've ever made health-wise. So that's something to think about. It's not an immediate, I'm going to fix everything solution at all, but it is a great long-term aid in maintaining our health.
Well, and I'll just add a little to that. You've been able to discontinue high blood pressure medication.
Right.
And your blood pressure that you took yesterday was?
Was 115 over 64.
Okay. And then you have a preparation that you did for your eyes, and after a year's use, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, very faithful, even at the beginning when there were no apparent results. What happened after a year of using the eye formula?
It totally reversed the cataracts that I had diagnosed 3 years ago. And so that's unheard of. My cataracts are gone, and I could see. Well, you saw me reading off of this paper with no glasses.
And
So,
you used to do cataract surgery on
I
animals.
used to do cataract surgery on animals to remove those cataracts, and now we find that in many, many cases you could get by without the surgery.
And this will work on your pets.
Right.
And so at our house, our pets have 2 drinking stations, and they have plasma energy water to drink. So any issues that come up with them, we're going to use plasma energy on any of their issues, but they're very, very healthy. So we haven't had much opportunity to use anything other than the anxiety relief for one of them, and now she's pretty pleasant to have around. So thank you very much for watching, and again, our website is plasmaenergysolution.com, and you want to add anything to that?
I think that's about it for now. The link for plasmaenergysolution.com will be down below this video in the description. And so you can go there and click on that and go right to our website. So if you feel you've gotten any value from this, please give us a big thumbs up and share this with your friends and relatives. And subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll get notification of upcoming new videos that we do on a regular basis. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.